To the next testifier, Lucky Rosenbloom.
Thank you.
Welcome to the committee. Please identify yourself for the record.
Thank you. My name is Lucky Rosenbloom. I serve on the State Council on Black Minnesotans. Well, I'm not here to speak on behalf of the Council on Black Minnesotans. As a member of the Board of Directors, I'm charged with representing the best interests of African Americans in the community, which is what I'm going to do here today. I don't have any notes, and the reason I don't have any notes is because I want to talk from experience. I remember teaching history, and I taught about a lady named Fannie Lou Hamer, who, while returning from voting, was pulled over by the Highway Patrol, taken to jail, and two black men were forced to beat her in jail simply because she went to vote. Another lady I teach about is Miss Jane Pittman, another lady down south who gave her life and gave her time for her right to vote. So I take voting very seriously in my community. When I stand in line waiting to vote, and I have people in front of me who are being turned away because they do not have a utility bill, and as they're walking out, I walk up and I say, "Sister, brother, you have to come back and vote." Well, you know, Lucky, they're telling me that I need a recent utility bill. Well, I don't have a recent utility bill. My phone bill, my light bill that I paid 2 weeks ago, I threw the doggone thing in the trash. So they leave and they tell me, "Lucky, forget it. I'm not coming back." Those people are harmed. When you're talking about harming people of color, that is a harm to people of color when they do not come back because they do not have a utility bill. Now, this is my utility bill. If anybody would like to pay it, I'll give it to you. This is my utility bill. This is one of probably 8 or 9 photo IDs that I have. When I go to vote, or people in my community go to vote, we are going to feel more empowered when we walk up there and say, "Here is my ID. Do not turn me away anymore. This is my utility bill." Come on. Which one is more empowering to me and people in my community? This utility bill, by the way, it has Lucky Rosenbloom. My name is Marilyn Rosenbloom, my nickname. So I could vote under my nickname, where this has my full legal given name, which will empower me when I go and vote. So this, to me, is not about fraud. This is, to me, is not about all the arguments that I hear up here from people who are well, you know, you guys make pretty good money, I assume. But I have people in my community who do, who are not making a lot of money.
Rosenbloom, you better be careful with that statement.
Right. I brought some humor. That's good. But I have people in my community who are your everyday people who are being turned away, who are not coming back to vote, walking out of the voting place because they don't have this utility bill, and they're frustrated, and they leave, they do not come back. You know, I have students, 18-year-old students. They have IDs. They have various kind of IDs. And to walk in, I'm telling you, to walk in with this ID is going to be very empowering to people in my community when they say, "Here's my ID, you can't turn me away now." And I hope you hear that. This ID is not anything that I think is going to cause a big problem when you walk in and they have to check your ID. It's going to be empowering for people in my community. And I hope you hear what I'm saying. This is not about a Republican. This is not about Democrats. This is about empowering people in my community to vote. If any one of you would stand in line and watch people being turned away and not coming back because they don't have a utility bill, and try to talk with those people who really want to vote, but they don't have a utility bill, how many of you people, let me ask you a question, how many of you will hold on to your utility bill to go and vote and have it with you 2 weeks later? You're not going to do it. It happened to me one time. As God is my witness, it happened to me where they told me to go back and get a utility bill because I moved over South Minneapolis. I said, "Man, I don't have any utility bills where you need it in order to vote. I don't have a utility bill." I didn't have anything recent. I did not vote that day because I didn't have a utility bill. I had my IDs in my pocket. Come on.
All right. Representative Kalin, you're on my list.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I will address that some other day. Mr. Rosenbloom, Lucky, if I could, do you agree that adding the requirement to go get a voter ID, a state-issued ID card that reflects your current address, adds another step for those voters that you're saying are currently walking away because of the hurdles?
I believe that people in my community are intelligent enough to know that if I need this ID prior to walking in, I'm going to have it 2 weeks prior to walking in. I'm going to have this ID ready to go. I'm going to have this ID in my pocket every day like I do. I don't have this in my pocket every day. So my answer is yes. Come on. We are not people in our community who are not prepared. If we know we're going to need this ID, we're going to have this ID, we're going to walk in, we're going to be ready to vote. We're going to have it. It's not something that we're going to say, hey, we have to go and get the same day. Come on. If we educate people, and as a member of the Council on Black Minnesotans, my charge will be to educate the community on getting this ID, and we will do a good job at that. They'll have this ID, they'll be ready to go, they'll be ready to vote, nothing's going to stop them. It's very empowering.